And the former president is vowing to stay in the presidential race, even if he's convicted. Mr. Trump telling Politico, quote, "I'll never leave. Look, if I would have left, I would have left prior to the original race in 2016. That was a rough one. In theory, that was not doable." Let's bring in Chris Hahn, NewsNation political analyst. He was also a senior aide to Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer. Hey, Chris, thanks for being with us this morning.
It's great to be here.
So, Chris, we're really in uncharted waters here, right? Talking about the former president facing some serious federal charges while running for president. Does anybody really have any idea of how this will play out?
Well, look, he's obviously galvanized his base around his victimhood. His base is in love with this idea that they are all aggrieved and he is their symbol of their own grievance. But I don't think that helps him long term, nor do I think it helps the Republican Party nationally to stick with a guy who's got so many problems. And it is very clear to anyone who looks at it objectively that he did something wrong and he is not fit to be president of the United States. I think he's going to bring a lot of Republicans down with him the longer he stays in the race. And I am, quite frankly, shocked that his GOP primary opponents are not taking full advantage of this and using this as a stick to beat him with metaphorically.
And so you don't think this will be good for him politically? You know, when Trump was first indicted at the state level in New York, he got a boost in the polls. He raised millions of dollars in new fundraising just in the days after. So you don't think an indictment is good for him on this current campaign?
No, I don't think long term it is. I think, look, it might help him win the GOP primary. But I don't see how this attracts more voters in the states he lost in the general election in 2020. Remember, elections are won on the margins. You've got to convince more people than the last time to vote for you. And quite frankly, this raises more questions. And remember how he became president. He successfully prosecuted the idea against his opponent that she mishandled classified documents. That convinced enough swing voters to swing his way to give him the presidency. Those same voters are looking at this right now and saying, why did we trust this guy with our national security secrets? Why are we allowing him to really play fast and loose with the work of the men and women who go out and collect this information, many times at putting their lives at risk? No, I don't think this helps him in the general as much as, quite frankly, it could help him in the primary.
And Chris, if it's not, beneficial or advantageous for him politically, take me behind the scenes of what you think is going on behind the scenes inside the campaigns of his rivals. What are the pros and cons that they're weighing here as they decide how to respond to this latest indictment?
Yeah, they seem to be panicked with fear about Trump's base. And quite frankly, I think they're worried about Trump saying something mean about them. I don't think they have the mettle or what it takes to take him on. We've seen two of them come out and attack him hard, Asa Hutchinson and Chris Christie. Beyond that, the rest of them are just kind of trying to figure out how to tiptoe a line that doesn't offend his base and doesn't offend Trump so that he attacks them. And frankly, that's no way to win an election. They've got to take a strong position, stake it out, and hammer it home. And quite frankly, I think they should collectively agree, all of those challenging Trump, that they are going to attack him mercilessly over this and all of his other flaws. And they haven't done that. And until they do that, they are not going to convince the Republican Party to put them at the top of the ticket.
Okay, we'll see how this plays out. And the next step, him showing up in Miami tomorrow. Chris Hahn, thank you so much.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.